Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to dabble in mixed media. Woo! And get our fingers dirty. So this is going to be for the Poe Journal. I have this script stamp, which is really cool. It is a script layering stencil THS 149. And we're going to be putting this black opaque texture paste through it. Very pretty. I love this stuff. You can do so much with it. I'll probably be doing something with bats through a stencil later on, or something along those lines. And this was one of the mistakes that I made the other day when my ink was going out. You can see, you always can tell. So I thought I would take this and try to cut the outline around the building, and we're going to use that on this, which is the envelope out of the Poe, I don't even know what this is called, just Poe Journal kit, I guess. Yeah, so we're going to actually have it up this way. So I think that will fit on the main body here. And I'll still be able to see some of that beautiful flower up here. I love this color. It actually looked a little different. This is on presentation paper, I believe. So, or is it on cardstock? I think it's just on cardstock. But usually it turns out with a much prettier dimension or look. And I would like to use this. This is Lenore. I don't know if that was his wife, or this is that one that's in the poem. I think it's about the one with the raven. So then I also have this, which is from the Dollar Tree. I got it a couple years ago, so I have no clue if they still have it or if it's in stock now. But I got it around the time of the year, like a month or two before Halloween. So I don't know exactly what we're going to do with that, whether it's going to be sort of a layover for her to go on, or, I'm trying to figure out how to put that into the scene. I guess I'll figure it out once I get it laid out. And then our base paper is this one. That's the one we're going to take our burning ember. Ooh, yeah. I already did a little bit of spraying this morning. And we're going to put it along one of the sides here. So let me pull that over and show you what we're going to do and get it going. Thank you for coming to visit and to spend some time with me today. I really, really appreciate any time you can spend with me. And I'm hoping that I give you something in return, like some techniques or knowledge or ideas or inspiration. All of those things is what I'm trying to get through with these videos. And I'm wanting to give back more than I'm getting, So we're going to shake the burning ember, because all of the mica usually will settle in that bottom. So you have to shake it several different ways. And you hear that little metal ball in there going to town. But you want to shake a lot of it down to get into the mixture. And what I've got here is a few scraps that were just laying over there, which I'm going to try to incorporate eventually into some of my, collages or something. So all we're going to do is be going about this far in on this page here. And I thought that the off spray, isn't that a bird? The off spray could go over here and dude up my pieces. And I'm going to put a nice thick coat on there. And I'm not getting anything over here. So let me do a little light splatter there. That ought to do the trick. And I'll go back over it again. I wanted it really nice and dark. And you can see how pretty it, what a pretty color it is. It is, like the mica just comes out and hits you, hits you in the face, Isn't that pretty? So what we're going to do next is we're going to set that aside to spray. And I have several here, so we got an assembly line going on. So next we have this one, which is nice and dry, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and take my little paper here. I used that the other day. You can see that. And we're going to use this black opaque texture paste, and we're going to lay this nice stencil. And the best way I figured out how to do this is because that envelope flap is going to be here eventually. We're going to take and we're going to just cut this right where that would be glued down. I don't need the words. So instead of me going like here, see it doesn't reach all the way up. Instead of me going here and then trying to get in here, but see there's a gap, I'm going to go half and half. So I'm going to lay it here, which is about where the flap is going to come in. And what we're going to do is, let's see, that is midway, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Ugh. So I'm going to stick that up there. We're going to get us a good glob on there. And then I'm going to try to make it as naturally cut off on the left as possible, just so it doesn't look like it's planned. But you're going to get in here and get it to where you can just kind of go down like butter on a piece of toast in the morning. That's what you're trying to do. And then you can scrape, put it flat almost against there, and you scrape, slide a little more on there, and come down again to try to get it to go out a little further. And we're going to scrape again, and then we're going to pull up. Pull straight up. There we go. And that's what it'll look like. I did miss my 459, but that's okay. I don't have to have that. I don't. So now we're going to put this down here, about right there. See, I have that little gap, and I'm going to just use that as a marker about where to start. Get me another bunch of goodie, and then we're going to go in here, and I'm going to try to get it up as far as I can, and then start coming down with it. Sometimes you have to work to get it into the other spots. This reminds me of my dad. He was a brick mason for years, and he had a trowel that was very, very similar to this. And it was a little wider. Of course, the handle was a much bigger, but I kind of feel like sometimes I'm stepping in his shoes. I wanted him to show me how to do brick masonry so bad. But, of course, I had the scoliosis and the metal rod in my spine. So I couldn't even do contact sports like football or, horseback riding, anything where I might fall off and, that 6-inch steel rod would snap in a heartbeat, or bend. Wouldn't that be something? I'd have it in there and it'd be bent. Well, goodness. I must not have pushed that hard to get it to go through in this area, but I'm okay with that because this is basically a background. All right, let me go clean this off really, really quick. Okay, so I have my envelope cut out, and we're going to be putting our score lines in. Now, I've already put this one in, and what you have to do is you kind of line up where that straight line is against your score line, and that's where you score. So we're just going to go around and figure out exactly where we need to score each one of these. Then that's going to help us to figure out where to cut that old chateau, or whatever, castle, whatever it is. Now, the little word script that I just showed you is perfect for when you're doing something Gothic. I think it's Germanic, old Germanic writing, somebody said. And it works through a stencil really well on a page to give you atmosphere and all those other kind of things that you might be looking for, to give you just what you need for a journal. Now, I'm doing this so I can tell where to ink the inside of this envelope, because this is where it's going to be sealed shut. And I'm just going to go ahead, since it's such a nice deep color, and use my Scorched Timber ink on it. And I'm going to use it on all the edges, even though I don't know if those are actually going to show. But we're going to go ahead and do the edges. And this part will go down over our writing that we've created. So that part at least needs to be done on that edge. This, I think, is going to be on the top, so it needs the ink right there. And you're not going to really, well, you can see it a little bit on that edge. That's pretty nice. And this top edge here, you would probably see a little bit. All right, and then along there. And I'm going to go ahead and bend it and go ahead and add some in this crease. Will it show? Oh, I think it does. Yeah. Yeah. It lends to the atmosphere. Yeah. I got to get my mind working on what I'm going to do with the Craftly haul. I've been letting that one kind of go, as you've noticed. So this is the area I need to have ink on. Not a lot of ink, just kind of not where it's white. And we're going to do the crease as well. You might see a little bit of that. Yeah, I've got to do the back piece that I wanted to do, which will be his briefcase and all of his studies and stuff on the twin situation. And I need to get that all cut out and laid out, and then I'm going to glue it together. I'm thinking I'll use a file folder. That is my thoughts on it. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, so I may film that next. As you've probably noticed, I've cut back my filming schedule to where I'm only doing film or videos on I cut out Sundays and Wednesdays. I thought that was a good cut area, because then it gives me a chance to make a couple in between, and on that day I'm off, and I can get to it, because I am getting bombarded, I believe, with needing to make things. It's not just, oh, I glued the wrong side of that. Oh my God. Okay. That's what a gift dog. And all right, it's this side I need to glue. Yeah, but I'm sure you were hollering at me. Thank you. But yeah, I need to get some things done. Not just for the shop. I have a couple of journals I got to get done for somebody. And yeah. It's not enough of me. And I need to take some downtime as well, because, I got Mom. I got to take her out. We got to hit the Walmart every so often, as I had to do yesterday. So it was a good thing I had something filmed. All right, now I'm going to have to figure this out. So I'm going to cap my glue. Here is my Lenore. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little light Scorched Timber along her edge. And, yeah. I mean, it might be kind of cool if I put like a little crackle over. That's kind of an interesting thing. Let's try that. And I think I'm even going to use it in there. This is something I got early on in the 2020. I saw something on the Home Shopping Network, and it was Crafter's Companion, and I got 4 of these, and I cut the tops off. I don't know. It's got like a thing down here that tells you, but it's got sentiments on it. It's got like a big rose or a flower. I've got a few little flourishes, some distressy looking things, and this crackle stamp. And I'm telling you, I use that crackle stamp a lot. So let me get me a stamping block that I usually use with it. And I'm just going to turn this over, because what I'm going to do is kind of just crackle a little bit along her edge. And I'm trying to figure out what color I want to use. Oh, let's see. Okay, I was trying for a color that was close to what I had here in this aged mahogany. I looked at my little dewdrops, but I didn't have anything. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to get a few of these cracks out here on the outside. I don't really want it to be too dark. I'm going to do a stamp first and see how loud how loud it is first. All right, let's see. Oh, that's not too bad. That looks about right. I'm not going to push very hard at all. And I'm going to go the length of that one side. It gives you the impression that there was glass, or there is glass there. Or it's one of those plaster kind of paintings. Yeah, I want to keep her face. And then I'm just going to do a light press. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See how that turned out? Isn't that cool? I'm going right into it, right around her. But since she's facing this way, you know, that's the part you wouldn't want to have anything disturbing it. And also, I don't know if it might be a good idea to try to do a little inking. Okay, I'm not sure if this is oxide or ink, but you're not supposed to mix the two. But I'm going to hope that this is kind of dried up. But I wanted to do something like this around these corners to try to give that, it almost looks like lightning in a way, but to give the ink somewhere to come from. Not that it's just floating in space, you know. So yeah, something like that. And then I might go in a little bit in some areas like that with just the corner, just the corner, to where it looks like it's kind of reaching in at her. Yeah, like death is coming for you, Lenore. That's kind of gory, isn't it? Sorry, X-rated. Okay. So there's that, and I need something else down here, a little bit more of that, maybe fading off. Yeah, oh yeah, we want it to fade off, much better. Yep, I like that a whole lot. Okay, so we can set this to, oh no, I was going to do this. Yeah, so Lenore's done. This one I'm not going to need a background for, but what I'm going to do is also go in there, and it's almost the correct shape that I'm going to need, to tell you the truth. This will probably have a journal card of some type in here, so. And then this is going to be cut, and that part is going to be glued down so you won't see it there. So we're going to kind of just put it right here, right where it touches the edges of the flap, or the inside of the envelope, and see what we get. Oh yeah, I do need to get a little bit more here, so I'm gonna touch this one corner with that and go back in here, kind of like right there. I don't know if I can lift that up, or I don't think it'll hurt if I stamp that, but I'm gonna put that there just in case. Okay. Oh, good. Took care of it. All right. That part's done. The only thing I'm going to use on here might be this skull, because I think she's dead. But I'm not crazy about the birds. Now, I made me another little buy. Yeah, I've been buying lately. But I had gotten a couple of things from the new Tim Holtz release. And one of them has this cool looking raven. And I've got to get him, and I'm going to either use him or another raven that I've already got a stamp for. Yeah, and use that. Now, this is the one that's a dry. I did a few ahead of time, and I got the whole $4.59 on that one. But I'll set that still to the side. We're not going to go with that yet. Now what we want to do, because it's going to come around, like this, I believe, is how I'm going to do it. And I really didn't plan on where I was putting Lenore or any of that. But see that split, what I was telling you about? Yeah, you don't even notice it now. So that is going to go about right there. And this is to go on here. And I was trying to figure out how far up it needed to be. And I can still see a little bit of the flower. Not that flower, but the greenery anyway. And it needs to go down to here. I wanted to get some of them beautiful mullioned windows as well. Those, oh, those are gorgeous. So I did get those. I got that last turret. And, okay, so what I need to do is, I wish I could got that part, but I wanted that raven, is the reason I went with this side. I mean, that side I don't know that I would be getting that much interest in. Maybe I'll do that on one of the other ones, because I still have several of these to do. So I'm going to go over there, cut this apart right there, and then we'll get to gluing this down. Okay, I think I'm up a little too far. Let's go ahead and glue down our castle. I actually cut off a little bit more on this side and made sure I kept that turret, and I think that'll do the trick. And I also went around the outside edge with some scorched timber. Get that bird up there on the top of that. I think that is a cool piece of tie-in to Edgar Allan Poe. I have to go and find more of his stories and things to add into here. I have to get Wonders by Wink, her kit for Poe. She has these little quotes in sort of neutral tones, and I'm going to see about adding some of those in here. But I kind of, when I did those other ones that time, I had some of the stories and poems that Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy sent me. And of course, I used them all up, thinking, oh, I'll never do this again. But they went and bought out all of my Poe stuff in no time flat down there at the shops. I don't know what's going on. So anyhow, does that tail need some more glue? And it does. I got to find me some more things. I can probably get it on the internet. You know, you can get anything on the internet. That's like an encyclopedia anymore. Have you noticed that? Yeah, we used to have those encyclopedia salesmen that came around all the time. And it's always trying to sell us. We got 2 sets. One of them got up to like T or U, and then the other one, I think we had the full set. But it was the boring looking, you know, brown leathery covered ones that try to make them look fancy. The other one that only got up to like T or U, it had some really interesting things on the outside cover. Things that you would have seen or read about inside. Okay, so this is the part. I've got this side done. This is going to hold something, a poem or something of Poe's. I just haven't figured out what. And I'll probably put something on here that has to do with the poem that's inside. So here we're going to be putting this down. And it's sort of like it could be a tuck. I was thinking of making it a tuck, but I don't know how hard it would be to tuck something in with this little jaggedy stuck up area here. So I'm really debating whether to just put that all the way down, and I really think I am, because I want to put Lenore here. I also cut out that little tiny feather, and we're going to put that there just like he's writing her name. So let's go ahead and put that on there real quick. And I'm thinking I can work in the spider material underneath of the flap, you know, against the writing, because you'll still be able to see it. I think that might be the best place for it. All right, so let me put this right here, like he is just finishing writing, or beginning to write her name, because that gives you something else visual over here to see. It ties into Poe's writings, you know, all of those good things. Now, I'm going to cap this glue because I think I'm going to have to go to fabric tack now. Not only because I'm going to be, gluing a fabric-like substance, but because of the height of all this, this is a nice thicker goo and will get me in there. That's the thing. She'll go on last. We're going to go ahead and cut like a little piece here to make it look like the spider web is sticking out. I also don't want it to look too uniform. Let's just cut it right there and see what we got. Once we tuck it under there. I wish I could rip it in some way. Let's try it. It can't hurt. I got enough of it. Oh gosh. Nope, that's not going to rip. Let me see about cutting it. All right, let's experiment with this. I've got some deckled edge scissors. Oh yeah, because it's not really going to cut it good. But when it does cut it, it gives me that chewed that chewed look. That's what I want, the chewed look. Oh, yep, that's sort of doing it. I mean, these are, they're sharp to do paper, but I don't think they were made to do material. And this is sheer, so it shouldn't take too much. I'll just keep chewing away at it. And, oh, okay, I got that little piece for something later. It's already nicely chewed. Now, up in here, I don't want it to be too straight, so we're going to chew at that. We're going to chew in here a little bit more. You can always, oh yeah, I like that hole it just made. See it? Yeah. So yeah, there's a way to make something distressed if you're not sure how to do it. Use some of these scissors, because who uses these anymore? I sure don't. I'll pick them up now and then, but not very often. I guess punches and dyes, they kind of took... Oh, I got glitter everywhere, I can tell you that. That's the only bad thing about using anything with glitter. It gets everywhere, and it has. It's everywhere. Even the little hairs are everywhere. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Maybe I'll take the rest of those. I have 3 more I have to make. Maybe I'll take them outside. All right. Yeah, I like the chewed look. That really got what I needed there. Okay. Now, fabric tack. The cure-all of everything. I still need to do a short video of me showing the glues that I use. So, I'm still going to be doing that. And it won't be much longer. Within the week or so. And how am I going to do this? I think I'm going to do the edge where I know this is going to go down, like right here. So is that as wide? Oh yeah, that's about the same width too. So wherever this is, I'm going to just go along the edge to tack it down for now. Yeah, let me set it up. And then I'm going to put that down right there. Doesn't have to be over the edge, just right on it. And then if you have one of these little silicone makeup brushes, this was to put on masks from Unique when I was trying to sell makeup. Not that I did well. But I'm not gluing anything else because this is going to hold it down. That part right there. So let's go ahead and cover that. See, I'll see a little bit of the spider web sticking out, which is all I need. All I need. So let's get this down with a good layer so it'll go through all of those. Now don't get too close to your little bend part there. Yeah. Just like that. Squeeze out a little bit more. Yeah, usually you leave this up to where you've got a tuck or like an area to put you a nice bookmark down into, but that's not going to work for us right now. So we're going to do it this way. All right, and then I'm going to put this down right here. Try to centralize it. Yeah, and then I'm going to flip it over and rub. And make sure I'm not right up against it. Yeah, I need room for that to bend. So that's good. And I'm going to rub this in and get it on there real good. And then we'll get with Lenore. She's next. I'm trying to figure out whether I want to put a little bit of something behind her. Could be I just go with this extra little piece here and gnaw away a little bit more and have that under her so it's sort of a layered look. I like the idea of that. Now see how this is on this side? I think yeah, this is the way it will be, like that. Now I've got a little bit of something holding that up, so I'm going to burnish it to train it. Yeah, see, I trained it. You have to sometimes do that. And then I'm going to also rub on here to make sure my piece is down really good on the other side. But how this is nice and, kind of bloody looking, that leads me to think, what would I like to put in there? It's going to have to be something nice and gruesome. Plus, I have a skull here. So, maybe Annabelle Lee. That's one I always think of as really gruesome and that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm trying to get more of that off of the table. Yeah, my poor flowers, I'm not going to be seeing much of them except for maybe back on that side. But that lends me to looking like a tree. I only see that one bud. So it gives me greenery background. That's what it's giving me. Yeah, so that needs to go there. So I'm thinking to chomp on this a little bit more. Would it need to be behind her here? I don't know that I want to cover it all. Well, don't you know? I get here and I can't decide. I do kind of like it where it's got the glitter all the way around her. So, I might do some chomping on here. Well, I was thinking I was going to be using some regular glue, but actually, and I've got another idea. Hang on. Okay, so instead of me using that extra piece of the spiderweb fabric, I had this spare of gray cheesecloth that I've got like a big roll of over there, and I used it for something, and I had this extra left behind. So I want to use it behind her. So instead of putting anything else down, I'm just going to do that. But what we need to do is to do it in a way, let me get my silicone thing out again because I'm going to need it. So instead of using it just flat, I want to see if I can get some shape into it. So I need to, I set that right side up too long. I need to probably fill it again. I go through the fabric tack, I can tell you that. Okay, I'm going to just lay it down. Let's see if it'll do it. But yeah, I've got a nice raw edge over here, and I'm going to try to wrinkle it in a bit to have like a drape. Because remember, she's dead. She is dead. And he is remembering her and mourning her. And remember that you ever heard about them putting those drapes and things over the mirrors and the pictures of the deceased back in the Victorian days and such? It was, yeah, kind of creepy, but I think they did that in respect, but they had something in mind that it was to keep the ghost or the spirit from trying to return to the body. Wasn't that it? I remember something along those lines. And I'm going to put me a little gob of glue right up in here because I'm trying to get that to bunch right there. It's not really cooperating. There. I think that did it. Yeah, I kind of like that. It's got like a bunchy design to it. Yeah, me and my words. All right, I'm going to go ahead and fill up the whole back. Hopefully I got enough fabric tack coming out here. Oh, gosh. Come on, go up that way, out of the way. And I'm just going to cover the whole thing. And then I'm going to push it down, and hopefully that's going to push out all the fabric tack to around where I need it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like this little bottle because it's easy for me to hold in my hand. I know a lot of people use those Sugar Bell bottles and stuff. Well, my hands haven't got that bad, or aren't bad that I know of. Sometimes I get a cramp in them. And that's not fun. But that's usually when I work too much. I do too much with my hands. Okay, now we're going to turn this over. We got everything on it we need. We're going to try to line it up and center it on this piece right here. I can see the edge. Yeah, okay, I think I'm good. I can still see bits of the spider web, which is great. I've got where it's going down on the corners here where the script is put with texture paste. And yeah, I like the bunched look. That added a lot to it. It gives me shroud. Is it telling you shroud? It's telling me shroud. So that's good. I think we're done with our piece. And, you know, I'll eventually be getting to these other pages here because I'll get an idea later on of what I want to do here. It'll maybe be something to do with collaging or another type of a element that I've made. Maybe it'll just get stuck down and I'll have that as my background. But I think it turned out really nice. That pink, which was a mistake in printing, really added to it. It gives it, yeah, that little bit of extra. We got a little bit of gooey down here. Now I may drip. I may do something with like a black design, like a drip of blood. That'd be kind of cool down through there. And of course, this is like the House of Death. And that was Lenore. So those, yeah, that turned out pretty cool. I like that. All right. I thank you for coming to visit. Hope you got some ideas. And come back again sometime and see what else I got to show you. All right. Everybody, take care. Be healthy. Be happy. And see you soon. Bye-bye.